Hello and welcome to your bi-monthly brag session. It is so great to be back in the brag session because I love hearing about all your bright spots, what redos, reframes that you got to work through this since we last met, the aha moments, any kind of revelations you've had, and of course your goals, the small steps. What's the one thing you're going to focus on until we meet again next week? So having said that, who would like to go first? And I like this t-shirt, makes my shoulders look really big. I don't usually wear t-shirts, but I was coaching this morning, so I'm wearing t-shirts. Kara's laughing, so I'm going to drag her up onto the floor.
I want to know what your t-shirt says. I see immune systems matter. Oh,
Immune systems do matter.
They do. As we have very much learned this last week, Jack is now sick.
Oh.
We ended up having the COVIDs. Lovely.
You too?
So, yeah, that's when I was sick last week. I was talking to my mom. She's like, "You really should test." I'm like, "Who tests anymore?" And I was like, "Okay, we will." And sure enough, Charlie and I both were positive. And I thought Jack might miss it because he just has an immune system of steel.
Yeah.
But he's been down hard these past couple of days. And when that was my last test, so I didn't test him, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
So we just, lots of fluids. I did go get bone broth. So
good. Yeah.
I don't know how to make my own. One of these days, I'm not a cook, so one of these days though, I'll get brave and
bone broth.
Oh my gosh, Jack has a great t-shirt too. Needs constant supervision. That's awesome.
We're so matchy today, Jack. Who wore it best?
Love it.
I know you've got a little more hair than I do, but yeah, no, the bone broth. I know it sounds super daunting, but sometimes I'll get one of the organic, roast chickens at the grocery store, and I pick it clean like the dinosaur that I am, and then take the carcass, remove all the meat, throw that into a crock pot. Okay. And, you put in onion and rib of celery and carrots.
That sounds so complicated.
No, it's so easy. It's the easiest thing. You're gonna the roast chicken's already cooked for you.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna take the meat off it anyway. Then you just throw everything in the crock pot. That's it.
Okay. One of these days, I'm gonna text you or call you and be like, "Okay, walk me through." I'm so lame in the kitchen.
A recipe. No, yeah, you will be with that attitude, young lady.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway. I know. I am not a gourmet at all, at all. And so that's why I love simple things. I'm always like, when people say you just marinated for, oh no, stop right there. Stop right there. There's no marinating going on here. I'm always the person thawing the chicken out in the metal bowl, in the water, in the sink an hour before I'm supposed to be cooking it. So, but yeah, so when I don't plan, that is, yeah, so I'm glad you're feeling better, and kids are resilient. They'll bounce, Yeah. So I was just actually, because, I never got the COVID, at least so far, so good. And they were talking about different forms of vaccinations that affect your immunity. And that's what I was thinking, because I never got the smallpox. They kind of weeded it out by that time, but then that doesn't account for all the other people that never got smallpox. But it's kind of interesting. There's so much to it. So anyway, back to you. I'm going to set a timer since we've already been.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take up so much time.
No, it's fine. Well, it's the Rona and all that good stuff. Because last time we went over, and I don't want anyone to miss out and not have time. So if we have more time. So if we run out of time, then we're going to circle back at the end. If we have time at the end, we'll do that, because I want to make sure that everyone has one fair shot. So I'll start 5 minutes on the clock here. That gives you time to share and me to give you feedback before we go on with the next person. So, okay.
So bright spots. I had a couple of, I felt like really big wins this week because, and it had nothing to do with like my personal goals. It was just where the lesson that you had talked about with letting go and not overthinking and not overstressing, because we've been trying to get Jack a sleep study for months, and it's all this runaround because of insurance, and then the office, and then this, and then I finally got it scheduled, and then I got a letter that my request got denied, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? And we need this and this and this, and I just took a step back and was like, okay, what's not in my control? I can't control if the insurance says yes or no, but I can provide these like baby steps, like, okay, trying to do it in bite-sized pieces. And of course I got the letter. It was last Friday. I was sick as a dog, and it's a Friday afternoon. You can't do anything. Yeah. So I just was like, okay, I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to deal with it on Monday. I'll just call the pediatrician's office and ask them how I can help, what I can do. So I called them on Monday morning and talked with the advice nurse, and she's like, oh, Dr. Gaitan already took care of that. He called them on Friday and it's reapproved. It's been turned around. Like, it's all fine. Everything's good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is the best news ever. Like, cause you always feel like it's a fight, right? It's always a fight. Yeah. And in this case, they were proactive and they took care of it, and it was done. And I just was like riding that high the rest of the day. And then when something even slightly negative would come up, I'd be like, you know what? We had a big win today. Like, this is, everything's fine. Everything's working out for me. Everything's working out for me. It's good. And then we had a thing with the house because we got notice we had to do a repair, repaint, whatever. That took forever because, gosh, oh my gosh, dollar signs, like how expensive it is. Yeah. Finally booked somebody, and they came out to do it. Well, then we decided last minute to change the color. You have to get HOA approval. Yes. They deny my request, and then I submit more information. So then they say, well, we have 45 days. I'm like, they're here this week. What am I going to do? Again, another panic moment. And then I was going to call the office to see if we could expedite it. And the email came through like at that moment, your request has been approved. And I'm like, oh, another. And this was on Tuesday. So it was like, a great series of just things being positive. So this week I'm trying to like stay positive, focus on the wins, focus on the bright spots, not stress so much, trust that things will work out. I don't really have reframes that I could come up with or an aha other than just the recognition or did I just invent a new word? Yeah, okay. Everybody's recognition. Doing it. Thank you. Why not? That, everything will be okay. Like, everything will be okay. And then part of, I was reading the Think Like a Monk book, and he had a story from one of them where, the farmer, anyway, it was another affirmation or you don't know what the reason is for something. So no reason to jump into, oh, well, this is terrible. Like it will all work out. So
that's my favorite story. It was in one of the kids' books, Zen Keys or Zen, one of the things, and about the farmer and they get a horse and then
and then the son falls off the horse and breaks his leg, but he's that's exactly the one.
In the version that spared the draft. He goes, what good fortune? He says, maybe. He goes, oh, that's such poor luck. Maybe. And then he always responds with, maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
Like, yes, no, who knows?
I think the revelation is that, you can only control what you can control. And for me, when I stay calm, it's amazing how things just work out. Because I'm not trying to control the outcome of everything. I'm only doing what I can do. And that's why we had such a great time in Europe, because I was only focusing on the things that I could actually impact and actually control. And I think here's an aha for you. That is an aha moment. Like, I'm just going to focus on the positive. That's huge. That's a really big deal. So that for you, that's for anyone, that's an amazing accomplishment. But I know you've come a long way. So be proud of yourself for that, for reframing, because you reframed the whole thing to say, like, I can't do anything about it today. So you're not going to spin your wheels all weekend and worry about it. So well done.
Thanks.
This will serve you for a lifetime. That's awesome. But this is the new end of the timer. It's like in the Academy Awards, it plays you off stage. It's hilarious.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Before it was like a ding, 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 and I was in my speak, and it would come up, and I was like, "Thank you. I'd like to thank my God, my family." So feel free, everyone, to finish that way.
Awesome.
And in
Thank you so much.
thank you. You deserve a reward. All right, thanks so much, Kara. Okay, so who wants to go next? Jack, you look like you're chomping at the bit. Just because, we've got matching shirts today. I'll bring you up, add spotlight. We're like twins.
We are twins. I think I like mine a little better.
Needs constant support, but immune systems do matter. That was my
They
quote.
do.
They do. They're
Kind of a-
everything.
Kind of a boring
That
mess.
goes back to the focusing on what's within your control and what's outside your control. Because we can't control what's going on in the environment, what's coming at us, but we can focus on the fortress in which we live. Okay, I'm going to add 2 minutes. But I do like yours is funnier.
Mine's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so how's it going? You're having what are some things that are going well? Start with your bright spots.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going well. I mean, I'm eating really healthy. I don't really have a taste for junk food. Like I don't eat like a lot of chips or chocolate or anything, which is a big change.
It's huge. What was your poison of choice?
I'm really sometimes get a hankering for chocolate almonds.
Those aren't terrible. Have you ever tried skinny dips?
I beg your pardon?
Skinny dips, not
No.
skinny dipping. Skinny dips. They're almonds, but they kind of like have just a dusting of cocoa, and they're really delicious. I think this is the skinny dip.
Good dusting.
Dusting. I know. I just went full gay. Like gay man. What's happening? They're fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. So there are alternatives. So if that's something that you like to, like, there are definitely options.
Yep.
If you are hankering, you don't have to have those ones where you basically have to eat all the chocolate just to get the tiny, get to the almond.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's some really good ones out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I'm not exercising any more than I was,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm definitely putting on a lot of muscle, and I'm definitely putting on some more pounds.
Yeah.
So
you're increasing. Like, how are your clothes fitting?
they still fit fine. Well, I mean, sometimes sometimes the arms or the chest is a little tight. I feel like I'm bragging right now, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, like it just the shirts feel like a little tight across the chest and tight on the arms. But
you're sitting there doing this. It's this way to the.
That's right.
But this is a brag session, so.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, all that to say, it's going okay.
Look, this is what I had. I got this when I was in Canada. Big Turk.
Don't you have those in the States?
No, we don't have these in here. So every time I go up there, I grab a couple. I've only got one last time. I've been eating that since I got home, so it's pretty good. I have like a bite. Of course, I was away for 3 weeks, but I have a bite. So good. But yeah, that's
how are you in a country if you don't have the good stuff? Like, I don't get that.
Right? Oh, don't even get me started on that. I want to do a whole thing. I want to do a speaking tour on the state of our soil and food and all that. But anyway, so anything you had to reframe, shift, any mindset? I know that you're struggling with the 300 grams of protein, which is about 70 grams more than recommended according to your report, but you're gaining muscle mass, so I think you're doing okay with your protein intake. So
that's just right from MyFitnessPal, right? Like, and if I do, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll do like a 7 or 8 mile bike on my stationary bike.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be like, oh, you did. Okay, it's 330 now.
Yeah, that's again, take it with a grain of salt. It's like when you're eating too many eggs and they're telling you you're gonna die of a heart attack. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like it's kind of like the macronutrient report will tell some people, basically 0 fat, even though it's 39 grams of fat. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, because that's a lot of protein and you're gaining muscle. So I'm not worried about that you're not getting enough protein, because if you weren't gaining muscle and you were working out, then I'd be concerned. But if you're gaining muscle and you're not, like inflamed, then I think you're doing well. So you're on your chart, it's 228 grams per day, just, being doing what you do.
Yeah.
So, and then you increase that by 1.6 on the days that you work out like hard. So.
Right. So like I usually do 6 days a week of working out, and then have a yoga day on Saturday, just to stretch everything out. So anyways, yeah, that's fine. So you can see my fitness pal, like you can see mine, right?
I can, when I remember to go in and look.
Well, I don't expect you to. I just
Some people, some of the people here will send me a screenshot of their fitness pal at the end of the day. You could do that too in Pro Coach if you want to, just so I can see what kind of protein you're getting and what it's recommending. Because did you put your results in there? This is more of an accountability call. If that's okay. Did you put your numbers in there from your macronutrient report?
put my numbers in where?
Into my fitness pal, because I put in the numbers that my macronutrient report tells me to eat, and then I'll adjust it. Okay, because it's 228 is what it should be according
to that's without exercising, right?
Right. So that's on a normal day.
Yep.
Okay, so that's good. But yeah, I think you're doing great. So keep doing what you're doing. If you're gaining muscle and you're feeling tight,
Toy.
toy.
That's right.
And yeah, that's great. So any revelations about how amazing you are, or how successful you can be, or
I haven't had any of those revelations. Still working on getting to bed by 10, which gives me an amazing night's sleep. Up in Canada, it's been a really bad season for allergies, and I never had allergies until I became like a 45-year-old adult. And then suddenly it's like everything, it's like seasonal, like hay fever and all that stuff. So it's been really bad this summer, which kind of robs your sleep and your focus and stuff like that. But
are you taking anything for it? I mean, I don't like to over medicate, but I also don't like to be miserable. So
yeah. Oh yeah, there's loratadine, so I'll take a couple of those. But it's clearing up, so it's fine. Anyways, the thing is going well. I'm getting better at 3 times a day putting my little report in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're doing great. I noticed you're putting your progress in. That's awesome. And everybody, I really like. Now it's time to thank the Academy. It also sounds like Hunger Games. So I don't know. Kara's clapping.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. So last, yeah. So, oh shoot, what were we saying before you got sung off stage, played off stage?
We're talking about the app and doing it every day or every meal.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So everyone, if you add notes, you want to add a note in saying like, I was amazing because this, that, and the other, you put in like, takes you 10 seconds to add a note in, then I know why, or this was terrible because, and then I'll be the judge of that. I'll be the judge of whether that was terrible or not. So
thank you very much.
yes. And and your goal going forward, what are you going to focus on over the next week?
Like little changes?
Yeah, little change. Anything you can be on your accountability, something that you want to focus on, going to bed at 10.
Well, that's still a thing. I don't know. Give me some ideas.
How's your water intake? Is there anything you're struggling with that you could just bump it up just a little bit, 1%?
I could bump up my water intake, for sure. Do you do?
Like a drinking game. Anytime someone says water, yeah. I was raised with the Queen.
That's right.
That's why I bust out my inner gay man sometimes. It's my inner queen. I get it. It's a joke.
I got it.
That's awesome, Jack. Thanks so much. I love hearing from you. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing awesome.
Okay.
You're a poster child. You're all poster children, not milk cart children.
Hey, did you send me a link to set up a time with you?
It was in the email, but I can send you a link. Does anyone read my emails? My inspiring emails? Thank you. I will. Yeah. So I started to at the beginning, top of every month, you can I'm leaving up to y'all whenever you want to book it in the month. So at the beginning of every month. So I put it in this last email, I'm pretty sure, but I'll send you a link. I'll post a link in the Facebook page too.
When did you send the email?
Sunday or Monday morning.
Okay.
Because I wanted to send it Sunday.
Yeah, send it to me and then I'll book a time. Anyways.
Okay, cool. Yes. Awesome. Sounds great. Actually, yes, whatever. Awesome. Thanks so much. Yes, be gone with you.
Yes.
All righty. Who's next on deck? I love how you all jump. I'm going to have to take my Fathom note taker. Jennifer Haas. Actually, I want to talk to you.
Hi.
Hi. It's so funny because I talked about you yesterday about the Whole30. So I've been doing research into it, and there's so I don't know what I don't know if you want to just take a minute or two to talk about it before we get into you, or because I think that'd be beneficial.
So I work for a clinical nutrition company, and we try to do events throughout the year. And we did this last year. We want to do it again this year, where we have a group come together and do the Whole30. And if you're not familiar with Whole30, it's 30 days of eating whole food. And so if you guys are interested, I can share some information about that. Or you can, if you want to start looking into it, check out whole30.com. There's tons of recipes, and it's actually, I find it pretty easy to eat Whole30 because there are so many darn recipes on there. And yeah, I mean, you can have like coconut aminos and all their sauces, which are really tasty. And you can have dairy-free cream cheese, certain brands, so that you can make creamy casseroles and things like that. So yeah, so you can really have some tasty food, but it's still.
I'm literally salivating.
Yeah.
I just almost drooled. I love food so much. I know. What's that? Did you perfectly unmute yourself, Jack? Or are you still unmuted? That is funny. Yeah, no, seriously, I'm looking at the recipes. I'm like, I'm gonna eat like a king or queen. This is amazing. Like, they look legit, and they also have they have like what you can purchase, right? The app, or I don't know what the app.
I've never done that. I know Whole30 has, you can buy it already made, but I've never done that, so I'm not sure. But they have books. You can go get a half price bookstore or anywhere. So it's very doable and tasty, and it's a good reset, because then it teaches you how to eat better. After that, you learn skills that a lot of times you didn't know going in, and you come up with recipes that are good all year long.
Yeah. And that's just it. Like I did, we talked a little bit about this, like I did with Arbonne, the cosmetic company, but they also have supplements. Oh, they did. And I did 30 days of clean eating, and I have never felt so good, so lean. I have pictures of me at that time. Like, damn, I was tight. Like there was no muffin topping and anything. But it's not a diet. It is, like you said, like a reset. I lowered I upped my sugar sensitivity, should I say? Like, so I became way more sensitive to sugar, which was amazing, because then when you do that, your body naturally tells you, like, you start to feel sick or you start to feel gross, and it's like, no, stop eating this.
Right.
I realized I was sensitive to gluten, when I was on that, because when I came, like I didn't have any gluten the entire month, and I came back and I'm like, okay, I see it. You know, bloating and all that. And yeah, so I really strongly encourage everyone to try it. But there's a whole like 30 to 0, 0 to 30. So there's a build up. So I was thinking maybe we could do something in August, kind of prepping, like we talk about cleaning out your pantry, you know, starting to, so it's not a shock to the system, like kind of working your way towards it, depending on how much processed food you eat. I don't eat a lot of processed food, so it's going to be easier for me and anyone who doesn't eat a lot of packaged foods. So I don't know, do you guys do anything like that, or we could do that in the group?
We have a private Facebook group that will do some of that, but we should do it as a group as well. That would be probably, it's so helpful to do it together and not the only one doing it. And it takes time and planning, and you have to say no to some things that are hard, but if you're not the only one doing it, it's not as hard.
And they talk about like day 10 is when people are like, I don't want to do this anymore. There's markers throughout them. It's really, really well researched. It's very simple language. I really like it. So I'm gonna I think an annual thing would be great. And going into the big three, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, or if you're Canadian, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas, you know, where we tend to go on a feeding frenzy. Well, I do. I don't know about y'all, but I can't help myself. I mean, I can, but I'm mindful, but I want the sugar cookies. I want all the Christmas things. I want the trifle. I want all the fun things at the holidays, because I know that's the only time I have it, but I can still have it and not, you know, rupture my spleen in the process. Thanksgiving 2008. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so it's setting you up for success. So yeah, I've already talked to some the people here, and they're keen to do it. So I think we should.
We're starting at September 3rd through October the 2nd, and I'll share some information on our group in case you guys want to look at what we've got on.
And we could do an internal thing too, because it'd be a really great theme for August, just kind of like peppering things through to kind of get us mentally prepared for that 30 days. And you know, it's like, you know, training for a marathon, really. So
yes, it is. You really want to prepare yourself. You don't want to think day one, okay, how am I going to do this? Just reset. No, you really need several days to start thinking about it and preparing. And then I think after Whole 30 too, they recommend that you slowly add other foods back to see if you notice that your body doesn't do as well with them, like dairy and gluten and sugar.
Yes. Yes, I was happy to find out dairy wasn't a problem, but you know, gluten was. And so then I have it sporadically because I don't like to feel like caca. And it depends too. Like tortillas, I love tortillas, but the ones in the bakery, even the good HEB ones, the good ones, now right away I have a reaction. But you know, if I get corn tortillas, I'm fine. So
right.
Yeah, so it's a really good tell. It's a good feedback for sure. And you feel awesome. Like in the beginning, you might get a headache, stuff like that, withdrawals. But man, once it kicks in, I just remember feeling like $1,000,000 and just like liking how I felt in my mind and my body and in my clothes. So that was good. All right, let's start you off. Let's get you started. Tell me your bright spots.
Okay, so I thought I'd combine my bright spots and my aha moment. I've been traveling a lot this summer. Did 10 days earlier this summer, and then I just went to New Braunfels, Schlitterbahn, and then we're going to go to the Pacific Northwest next week. So just tons of travel. And so just I feel like it's been a win because I've been keeping in my mind, gotta go protein, remember the veggies, you know, protein veggies. So I've been doing a pretty good job with that. And then this last trip that we just did, we stayed in basically a hotel room with a mini fridge. But I felt like I did a pretty good job of bringing stuff from home, and I went to the grocery store, I was there, and I had stuff healthy versions of stuff for sandwiches and like muesli, cereal, carrots, healthier versions of chips. So we could still do the vacation thing, but
Yeah.
had the better stuff on hand.
Yeah.
And I even brought my own coffee set up so I could, have good creamer, good coffee, honey, better ingredients in my coffee versus whatever they're going to give me, wherever I find it. So
Powdered creamer.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can light that stuff on fire. Do you know that?
Yeah, I try not to touch any of that stuff.
No.
But yeah, that would be kind of bright spot and aha moment.
Yeah.
Redo. I really couldn't think of much for that, but I did when I was this in New Braunfels, we eating out of a mini fridge. I had some raw carrots in there, but I didn't do a very good job with veggies. But I just gave myself grace since I was doing my best on vacation with a mini fridge and not a lot of access to healthy food.
Yeah, Slitterbahn is not your salad stuff. It's like, would you like a corn dog, some pizza? The golden corral of theme parks, really.
Yes.
So yeah.
So have that, and then my small goal focus. Since I'm about to travel again, I'll be prepared. I want to have a list of good healthy snacks and food choices to take with us on the plane ride, and then come up with a plan. Once we're going to rent a van, probably buy a cheap cooler and go to the grocery store. But, so that's kind of my next focus. My next goal is how do we have healthy food on hand for our family, for me, for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it makes such a difference. I remember I was always in charge of the cooler when we go camping. And like making sandwiches and like, oh, good, more sandwiches.
I know they do get old for sure.
And they're all squished. And we have like meat sandwiches, but yeah. Hi, beautiful. And but yeah, and it does get so. But the vegetables are great. Like having a little cooler, packing it well. That's awesome. I mean, because those, like, even just pre-prepped vegetables, if you don't want to prep vegetables, just buying the prep vegetables can be easy. I'm not a huge fan of baby carrots, but it's sure easy to just throw it in a cooler, and just have something to snack on. So, and hummus travels well if you've got a cooler, stuff like that. It's great. Even like cans of tuna, that sort of stuff is really good. I'm gonna post the on the go resource again, so they're in front of your eyeballs, because it's all about eating well on the go, whether you're just around town, you're on a plane, you're staying in a hotel, if you're going camping, if you're I always like the gas station meal. You can make a meal out of the gas station. Of course, we have Buc-ee's, so it's got everything. So yeah, you can get the worst and the best at Buc-ee's. It is the full spectrum of, you can get fruit and salads, or you can get brisket and beaver nuggets. So, we don't know what beaver nuggets are made of. I'm pretty sure I glowed in the dark after having those last time, so I'm not really sure what's in those. But I think that's great. Yeah, just focusing on being prepared as much as you can, and then having fun and letting go of, if you run out of stuff, or you gotta order a pizza, or if you're gonna, whatever, just, because that you've done the things you've done, or maybe you're just tired of celery sticks and you're like, let's just go for, Chinese. I don't know. So then just be gentle with yourself. So I think that's awesome. That's a really good. So you're going to the Pacific Northwest?
Yes. Yep. 10 days.
Just you and Brian?
We're taking the whole family this time.
Family. And you said you're gonna get a van?
Yeah, because we're gonna take a bunch of kids. So,
So are you camping there?
No. We're Airbnb. In 4 different places, like Seattle, Forks, and Brian, my husband, planned the trip. I can't remember. Oh, Long Beach, Washington, and Port Angeles, maybe, Port something. I don't know. So that's where we're going.
Cool. Our new member, Lonnie, she's in Washington State. She's in just Roy. It's just outside Tacoma. So yeah, So unfortunately, she couldn't make it today. She'll be here next week, but she just joined, so she had a pre-existing, appointment. Yeah, so that sounds great. Hopefully, you'll get good weather up there. Nice
So,
cooler temps, hopefully. Does your Airbnb have AC?
I don't know. I didn't book them. Brian did all of that, so I don't know. We'll see.
I know it's hit and miss. We were just talking about that because you going up north, and you're thinking, oh yeah, get away from these hot temperatures down here, and then you go up there and it's hot and there's no air conditioning, so it's like, oh no.
That in Europe, right? You dealt with a little bit of that recently.
Wait, are you flying up there? Or are you driving?
We're gonna fly there and then get the van and just go several places with the big van.
Yeah, that's good. So are you gonna get a cooler there?
I think so. Yeah, I'll probably just get maybe a styrofoam one that we can put in the vehicle.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's really great. I remember one time we needed a cooler and we went into Bucky's and Holly says, because this is how she thinks. She's like, okay, I said, I'll just pick up a cooler. And she goes, set a price point before how much you're willing to pay for a cooler. And I said, $20. And all along, they had these coolers all along the top row at $19.99. I'm like, so that's awesome. It's not very big though, but yeah, you can definitely get one for cheap. That's awesome. Great.
Yeah.
When do you leave for your trip?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. So you won't be here next week. Okay, and you're gone for 10 days.
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. Can't wait to hear about the trip. Yeah, you are well traveled this summer. That's awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. You have been played off stage. All right, last but certainly not least, as someone we all know and love, Karen James, coming to the stage. Yay. Yay. You're so understood. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing okay. I mean, can't complain. I mean, it's interesting. I've thought long and hard about this one for a little bit, and actually just started making my little list. Because like Jennifer just said, is like when you're traveling, it's like great to make out your list and making sure like what you're gonna eat and what you're not gonna eat. Even though I'm gonna be in an Airbnb where I can fix food, but Caitlin's looking forward to me making food prior to going, because whatever leftovers, like in little to-go containers, I can leave with her, because the dining hall won't be open for like a week or whatnot after I leave her. And then she gets all the leftovers. So she's like, "What you gonna make, Mom?" I was like, "Well, something that's gonna make last a little while."
Right.
So I actually just was like making little notes and stuff like that about that. So that's great.
Planning is good.
Reminders and stuff. So
that's good.
So
And so what are you planning to make?
Haven't got there yet, to be honest with you, because, obviously it's gonna have to be something that, in little dorm containers or whatnot, and then that way she can pull it out and just little meals here and there. And of course I have to get, not so much that I have to get her approval for it, but I have to kind of get her approval, because obviously I want to make sure it's going to be something that she eats versus something that she just throws away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to have to sit down with her and be like, what is it you're looking for and stuff like that. So, and then obviously, I'll make sure that before I leave, I go to the store and get her, her milk and everything that all those other things and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
it's just that whole thought process of planning ahead. But knowing that I'm going to be there for a few days, I plan on going to the store and then making sure my refrigerator is stocked in the Airbnb, so that I can stay on track to get like my breakfast and cook some eggs and cook, and stuff like that. So got a little plan list that, that we normally do anyway. It's just this one's going to be a little extra because, making sure of that and stuff. So yeah.
Knowing what you're going to eat. So I remember when we would go to the conferences, and I would get there like several times. I did this like in the different conferences, hit a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods or something. As soon as I get there, and I'd say, okay, how long am I going to be there? How many mornings do I want to have something? Am I going to eat at the hotel? And and so I would have that idea in my head before I went there, so I didn't end up throwing away food when I left. I think I get 6 hard-boiled eggs because they have those right there, which is amazing. And like blueberries, stuff I could easily eat, just just rinse off in the sink and eat stuff, easy things that, because I always had a fridge. So just, and so I'm planning around the meals, what you're going to be eating, what you're going to need. So just something to keep in mind when you're framing it out.
Yeah. And knowing that during the day on these days that I'm going to be there, it's like, so I know like I'm going to eat a healthier breakfast and, be mindful of that. And like, and after breakfast, we're going to be at the dorm and I'll be doing the move in and all that other stuff. So I know I'll have the physical activity and everything there. So it's just like, okay, what do I plan on eating? And that's where those to-go containers and that stuff, where it will be nice because it'll be in her refrigerator. So all we'll have to do is pop it in the microwave and stuff like that. So yes, I mean, it's going to be a little bit more that way. So, that way we don't have to make or not an Instacart or, the pizza run or anything like that because I mean, and stuff like that. So
have food handy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a great thing to do.
Yeah.
So my fun brag for the week, and this one is like, I'm sorry, Jack, on this one, but it's like, as I am decreasing my body and decreasing my weight and whatnot, things are shifting and things are moving around in spots that, you don't expect them to do. It's like the first thing that goes is your upper half of your boobs. And so it's like I bought a bra and it was 4 sizes down from what I would normally buy. And I put it on. I put it on and I'm like, not to be any which way. Oh, Jack left us. I'm sorry.
I think it looked like someone was talking to him, so I think he
he
usually leaves early anyway. I don't think it was the boob talk.
I'm sorry, but it's so bad that, and I'm asking my daughter, I'm like, does this, help me adjust it the right way? And, does it look right and whatnot? And she's like, Mom, seriously? And she puts her hands here and she goes, I don't think you're supposed to have a gap this big between your chest and the bra. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll return the stupid thing. It was one I bought on Amazon. So it was like not the one you try in the store or anything like that.
Right.
And so she turned around and she goes, Mom, I also think that you might need to go down your cup size. So I bought I told her, I'm like, try the bra on and see if it fits you. Well, the bra did fit her. So I was like, all right, at least it was there. Right. But I turned around and I went down. I had to go down again, 2 more sizes that I ordered, as well as I ordered a different cup size and stuff like that. So I'm waiting till tomorrow until they come in and see if it's going to be a different cup size or if it's going to be the smaller size or what it is. But yeah, I'm not discouraged with it because it's kind of fun because now I can make fun of it and be like, I can't remember when I was this size of a bra type thing or whatnot. And it's just kind of funny to
though. I mean,
yeah.
The distribution of weight on your body, especially for women, is everywhere. So, it's, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, not unless you're like me. I mean, the reason I got implants was because, since Jack's not here, was because after being an H cup when I was nursing my babies, I mean, I was massive mams, bigger than I am now. And then, the aftermath was like, I said, imagine blowing up a balloon to its like breaking point, and then, and then it shrivels down. That's what my bosoms look like.
Yeah.
So that is when I want to thank the Academy and my plastic surgeon.
Yeah, so it's interesting to kind of see and I've tried to tell people, I'm like, yeah, when you lose weight and stuff like that, I think the first place you start losing it and whatnot is in your chest and area and stuff. And I'm like, it's just funny to kind of,
with that
big of a size. I'm like, come on. I'm like, seriously?
I know, but that's and it's honestly it's easier in your joints. It's easier on your back when you're carrying a lot of weight, in the
Yeah.
front. I had a lady. It was her insurance covered her breast reduction because it impacted her back so much.
Mm.
I mean, it was one of those like crazy giant bosoms, and God bless her. And be careful what you wish for. I was always on the opposite side of that spectrum, my whole life until I was 41. But yeah, it's hard on the body, and so yeah, it's a blessing. That is a bright spot.
So yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's the fun part of this week that I have learned. I'm like, all right, I've known like my shirt size and my pant size are going down, but I never expected that big of a change on those.
Yes, right, exactly.
So, anyway,
Yes, yeah, I know, and it's shocking.
yeah.
But that's great. That's really great. That is weight loss. And you have to hopefully you get something nice for yourself.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, when I did put the one on, it was super comfortable. I mean, it didn't like, it was like a different one. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a fancier one than I've ever bought before. So, I mean, at least it was there. I'm like, I upgraded myself, but I'm like, didn't expect to immediately give it away.
Oh yeah, right. I know, but it fit Caitlin, right?
But it fit her and she loved it. She liked it. She said it was so comfortable. And I'm like, you know what? Have at it.
There you go. It all worked out. It'll all work out.
We can all wear them, I guess, but anyway.
Well, I'm gonna draw the line at Justin.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he needs one, then we really need to talk.
Well, for him, I can brag about him is he actually, during the Amazon Prime Day or whatnot,
Yeah.
he took it among himself and he bought a walking treadmill for his desk.
Oh, wow.
So he actually now can walk and he can still do his work and whatnot. And so the other day he was on a Zoom call or whatnot in the early morning and he's like, I did about 30 minutes on the treadmill. I was like, super proud of you for that. I'm like,
that is really great. I was thinking, I have a friend who she crochets all the time, but she's sitting all the time. I was thinking, what if she could crochet while on a treadmill? And I thought that could be dangerous.
it could be a little dangerous, yeah.
But she's so good at it. I mean, it's not like she'd have to really focus on what she was doing, but it would get her up and moving. So
yeah.
So that's really great. So any aha moments, reframes?
To be honest with you, I didn't think about it as an aha moment until today, when you were talking with Jack, actually, is muscle weighs more than others. And so it's kind of like, I think that my mind's got to shift a little bit with doing certain things that I'm gaining more muscle now. And so even though the scale went up a tad, but that's probably a lot more muscle that I've been doing and stuff because, and stuff like that. So, thinking of it that way might be more of a beneficial than not. So that was an aha thing that I came up with. And I am working.
Muscle's more dense than fat. So if you have a pound of muscle or a pound of fat, they're both a pound, right? So, but the thing is, 1 pound of fat's like this, and a pound of muscle is like this. So it takes space. So when you're building muscle, you're going to, and you're losing weight, then you're going to feel that more in your clothes than on the scale. So that's something to be aware of. But you're right, because you're doing more than you were before, and you're in PT, which is hard. That burns calories. So yeah, that's good. That's good.
So
Zoom agrees.
Yeah. So and I am still looking into getting the 5K started for the end of the summer months. So I am working on that. I have plans and progress for that. Found a 5K in Flagstaff that maybe during some of the time that I'm up there. So might try to do it while but that one scares me a little bit because the altitude is so much different. So working out there versus working out here, I don't want that to be a factor. So, but still thinking about it.
That's good. Did you call your friend who does the 5Ks?
No, I plan on seeing her on Saturday. So I plan on talking with her on Saturday.
Okay, good. Make a point of it.
Yes, that is definitely on my to-dos and stuff like that. So I knew her kids were getting ready. Unfortunately, our kids go back to school. Well, our charters went back to school a week ago, and
Wow.
our regular publics went back to school yesterday.
When
So
do they
she's
get
got,
out?
they get out the end of May.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We get at the end of the May, and they're not back till August 14th, and I thought that was early.
Is it a year-round schedule?
Yeah, they're doing year round out here now.
Okay.
They do but they also get 2 weeks for spring break, 2 weeks for fall break, and then they get
A
almost
month
3 weeks
for,
for Christmas.
They do that in Europe. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
I'm like, our school's a month out and I'm starting to panic, but I'm trying to like not panic. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I need that big chunk of just a
Yeah.
break.
Well,
I would like to have those breaks as you go. So I know it just depends
yeah.
on. Oh, that's good. That's great. And I love that you're going to, yeah, because Karen and I talked about in her one-on-one getting back into the 5K, because when you shoot, it's like the whole 30. When you have a vision, when you have something specific. I mean, yeah, I want to lose 30 pounds. That's great. But it's in the daily practices that that's going to be accomplished. But that can seem so far off. But when you have these mini goals that are going to assist you getting to that
Mhm.
big goal, then that's going to help, just help you on your journey that much more. I mean, I ran the New York Marathon back in 2014, or was it 2013? I don't remember. 2013. No, 2014. But and I was thinking about that the other day, and that was a huge accomplishment for me to do that. And I trained for months for it. And did I do another one? No, I don't want to do another one. I only want to do New York. That was it. I was one and done. I'm good. Check that off my bucket list, But then I'm doing something else. Then I started to get into weightlifting, and then ultimately I like to do yoga. So it's more of the mindset of I mean, maybe you'll be a walker, maybe you become a runner, maybe you'll get into yoga, maybe you'll get into weightlifting, maybe you'll do Zumba. I don't know. Um, the world's a safer place if I don't do Zumba. I hurt myself and others. I hurt my neck one time doing Zumba. It was ugly. How do you hurt your neck doing Zumba? I don't know. But yeah, so it's the mindset and it just helps having goals. Like when I'm in my boot camp, I always think, okay, I'm going to start with this weight, doing this exercise, and by the end of the month, I want to increase that by like at least 5 pounds. So and be able to do the same rep count, 5 pounds heavier by the end of the month, or depending on what it is. So then I'm constantly building my strength, and so having those little small goals are really important to the outline. Kara has raised her hand. I'm going to add. You add her to the spotlight. Yes.
Oh, I don't need to be spotlighted. I just wanted to ask Karen, I don't know if this is something we talked about before because we've been kind of touching on the 5K. There's an app called Couch to 5K, I think it's called. And I used to do that, and it was awesome because I used to run in college, and then I got out of the habit, and so I wanted to start it up again, but I was like, it was daunting. It was kind of an overwhelming goal, and so my friend told me about this app, and it was so great because it was like, okay, you walk for a little bit, and then you kind of trot for a little bit, and then you walk for a little bit, and you like slowly ramp up. And it was really so helpful for preparing me to try to get to that goal. I don't know.
Definitely need to look at that and stuff like that. I mean, I've done 5Ks in the past and whatnot, but like the month before and stuff like that, yeah, you're right. I always ramp it up and stuff, but this time it's like it's so hot here that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going outside to walk. I'm like, I walk the grocery stores. I know you're from California, so I know you kind of know some of my heat here. We're not too far away. So, yeah, and in Florida too. I mean, you guys are, or Texas, that you guys are, like, you guys know the heat that. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into it. I just gotta put it on my calendar and just pick one. And like you said, do the couch to 5, and I'll get there
Yeah. No, the
eventually.
Couch to 5K is great, actually. I wish I had known about it because I did it like the hard way. When I
Yeah.
started running, I didn't have any. I remember I was like, I was training for the New York Marathon and I hurt my knee got all jacked up. It was actually my hip. And the guy's like, you're not firing your glute when you're running. I'm thinking, I'm running 15 miles and you're telling me this now? Like, I had no idea. I had no training. So if I had done it the progressive way, not politically, but
Right.
for the progression, but so yeah, that is a really great place to start because I heard that like way after I started. So that's awesome. I did forget that I have a submission from Jennifer. I'm just going to finish this out with. Thank you, Kara, for that suggestion. That was awesome.
Thank you,
Karen. You got your thing to focus on. That is great. And that's the whole point. And so last thing is a submission from Jennifer. She's had some family things going on, so she couldn't be here today. But she said, let's see. The only practice I'm working on right now is stress management, trying to spend more time in prayer and meditation, definitely focusing on what's my realm of control and what is not. I need to also focus on sleep because that has been a struggle. It's all tied together. Oh yeah. Nothing like waking up at 2 a.m. thinking like, oh God, this, that, and the other. I imagine that's going to be me for the next 2 weeks because my son and his girlfriend are driving to Canada. I'll be fine. So it's all together, but thinking that might be a good goal for me to work on right now. So better sleep. I think that's amazing. Finding a way and maybe develop a calming nighttime routine. Definitely. I really like the what we were talking about, the guy, Johnny comes soundtracks, the daily mantra. That's my favorite part is like, when at the end is like, whew, what a day. And the good news is I've left lots of fun things to work on tomorrow. When my head hits that pillow, I am off the clock, storing up energy and excitement for a brand new day. And I love that so much because since I've started to do that, I've had a lot fewer restless sleeps because I'm making that statement like, I've got things to work on tomorrow, not now, not while I'm sleeping. When my head hits that pillow, I am off the clock. That means unless there, God forbid, an emergency in the night, I'm off the clock and I am serving my well-being by storing up energy and excitement for a brand new day. So it really sets the tone. So Jennifer, you're for watching this. That's a really great mantra. So a calming bedtime routine. I don't like to turn on my light when I'm getting ready to go. Getting for bed rather. And my daughter came in the other day and she turns on the light. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? I wash my face, brush my teeth just with the light from my I have a separate bathroom, where the toilet is. So I just turn the light on in there. So I have the light coming on from in there. So it's like subdued. The light in my room is subdued. Sometimes I'll listen to calming music or something just to make that transition and get to sleep. But having that declaration, I find, is really helpful. So yeah, focus on what you can do to shut down your brain. It's going to be there tomorrow, but you don't have to deal with it right now. I mean, if you have a revelation or something during the night, that's why I like to have a notepad on my bedside table. So if I wake up and I think of something, I'm like, oh, because you don't want to forget that, you can write it down there. And I've had a notepad on my side table for I can't even probably like for as long as I can remember. So it's a really great practice. So thank you for submitting. We'll pray for you as well. I will. Can't speak for everyone, but yeah. So and stressful and focusing on what's within your realm of control, which is easy to say when things are simple, but when it's, loved ones or, things just outside your control that you really would like to control, it's just that much harder. So really focus on the things, what can you actually do? Like Kara was saying at the beginning of the call, focusing on what you can actually do, and it gives you more clarity. It gives you more ability to think things through things logically and not emotionally. Because when we think of things emotionally, that's when things tend to go sideways. And it's counterintuitive. So anyway, thank you so much everyone for contributing. I love the brag sessions. It's a great one. I got through this one without crying. Thank you so much. We'll see what happens next week. So next week we'll have accountability call. It is the beginning of a new month. Yep, August 1st. next week. So that's exciting. And we'll get back to you more on the Whole 30 because I'm really excited about that. So we're going to make that the focus.